Hello, lovelies and lovettes. I'm playing Ant Colony Simulator today. I'll be playing the Eternium later today, and maybe even Polytopia, if I get around to it. So, I'm going to be playing on Forest, because other two aren't available. Let me take a drink of my not Mountain Dew. Tastes almost as good as Mountain Dew. So now I know how to play this game. First, you need to get some scouts. We need to get some loaders. Basically, the scouts, they scout out areas, so the scouts will tend to go more towards these black borders and reveal them to us. The scouts can also collect food, like these mushrooms here. The loaders, like these guys, they only go and get food, but they're able to get 2 food instead of the scouts 1 food. You can see here. The scouts are also the fastest. They have more speed than anyone else. Then we got the guardians and the warriors. Both of them are really tanky, at least compared to the other two. And they both work in different ways. The warrior actually will go out and fight other colonies if you tell them to. While the guardians, they will just stay around your base. The guardians are a lot stronger than the warriors. And that's good, because you eventually start facing some really tough enemies. At the beginning, the first enemies you will face will be bees. Which, I think if they fight like a normal scout or loader one-on-one, they will probably kill it. Let me just make another worker work. And if you look up there, yeah, these are your ants, so they're all the ants you have. It doesn't count the workers, because the workers, they just stay down here and then do the thing, like the ant queen shop and also the ant workshop. The one next to it, that's how much food you have. And the one next to that is how much food is being used, because that's how much food is necessary to fill out those things. So if you want your actual number, then you have to take the first one and then subtract it by the second one. I think that's kind of annoying, to be honest, because might as well just subtract it from the start, as it's a lot easier to tell. But currently, we just let our ants explore. The scouts, they move around, and they will reveal the outside. And then eventually, we'll carry on from there. You can see this guy right here. He's a scout, and he's able to carry. They're able to carry one at a time compared to the loaders starting out of... Was it just one when they start out? Yeah. There you see. Upgrading them. It'll be at +1. Or +1 them. I can't make a worker just yet. Yeah, the workers will never actually leave your colony. They just stay in here. And they're the only one that gets more expensive the more you buy. The other 4, they will always be this amount. But once I get another worker, the next one will cost 50, and then 75, and so on and so forth. But they are really good, especially to have multiple of them. As with only one, you're only able to work one thing at a time. And with 2, you can work both of these. These upgrades will get expensive over time more. You get brown mushrooms and your red mushrooms, which are your 2 standard things that will be showing up. They actually do, as you can see, this one has 20... Yeah, the hit detection for tapping is a bit off, in my opinion. So brown mushroom with the food of 21. And this one, 15. The red one's also varies. You see this one is 16. And yeah, this also happens whenever you zoom out a lot. I don't like it, because it makes it harder for things to see. See, this one's 17. I don't like it because when you go out, it's hard to see the ground, basically. And when you zoom out, you're wanting to see everything. And there's one thing I kind of like. You tap on the mini-map here. It will send you straight back to the middle. That is pretty neat. Other than that, other foods will be like this blueberries. With the mushrooms, once they're gone, they're gone. But you will eventually find more growing around. Naturally, when it rains, they will grow back faster. These blueberries will always be here, and they will always be growing. So once you deplete the blueberries, they will eventually deplete, or no, it will eventually regain its berries, and you can harvest it again. The only other food from that is from dead enemies, like the bees and other enemies that I will introduce later, once we officially meet them. This game is, like, I believe it said it's an early access if you read on that screen right next to it. So, I'm allowed to be critical of it as I'm helping it. That's how early access works. As long as I'm not mocking it, which I'm not, I like this game a lot. It's okay. The only other thing I would have would be something like, you could have like pheromone trails to make them, like have them path to certain areas. Or you could use it to actually have them fight enemies. Because they don't actually go after enemies in a certain way. Like, if an enemy comes near them, then they will fight. Or at least, I'm pretty sure the scouts, like, they tend to avoid combat because they're just like, they could run past an enemy and they'll not do anything, but the other three will always engage an enemy if they come close enough. You can also have, like, you're also not able to mandatorily tell them to go to certain food areas and pick them up. The loaders do that automatically. They go to food areas and they will collect food. What? Oh yeah, minus that, plus that. But the scouts, they kind of just do whatever, really. They will get food if they want. They'll go out and explore if they want. And I'm not sure I've ever seen one in combat, but maybe. I mean, I believe they would end up going in combat. They do have the lowest damage, the scouts, maxing out at 2. Which I believe the loaders is like 3. It looks like it has available 3 or 4 notches. These guys, they do a lot, and the warriors also do a lot. But the warrior is your only offensive one. Because when you go towards, like, the beehive, you tell them to attack the beehive, and then all the warriors will go after it. They're the only ones that you can actually command. With the other 3, they just do whatever they want, pretty much. Like the guardians, they will patrol around the hive, and they'll patrol kind of around the scouting, or not scouting trails, but the food trails that the loaders will go on. You see these guys are loaders, I believe. Wait, yeah. And then they will, I see bees. So I'm pretty sure my one guardian will be able to take them out. There's some reinforcements for him. That's a lot of bees. The last time I played, I think I ever had to deal with 1 bee at a time. So I'm not prepared for this many bees. Yeah, that guy's, he's not doing... These guys, the bees, are weak, are stronger than him. But my loader, or not loader, but yeah, the guardian, he should be easily able to knock out some bees, especially now since there's 2 of them. Luckily with the scouts just doing whatever, they will ignore the bees and they could still collect food. As you see, the bees drop these on the ground, which are honey. I'm allowed to tap on it. Tap on it. There you go. See? The food dropped by enemies always seems to be standard out because these guys are always at 4. That's right, run. Now, let me make some loaders. Currently, I have a small amount, just 13 ants. But eventually, I will have a lot of ants. I feel like the ant you need the least is the loaders. Because once you have enough of them, especially at high level, they will just be like collecting about more food than you can actually put out, especially since the scouts are also taking in food. The scouts will discover, but the more you expand outwards, the slower they'll do it. And we go in. And the defenders, they're really useful because you eventually get some tough enemies that even your warriors won't be able to take out. And of course you need your warriors to attack enemy bases, or nests, hives, whatever. So I'm not going to get warriors until we actually discover the colony, and then I'm going to go attack it. So, I may end up doing only one run through of this, at least until they make the desert and the mountain expansions. Then I'll do at least one on those 2 maps. And if you guys want to see like maybe some challengeful games, like being not being able to use like guardians or warriors, or not being able to use loaders, because I don't think I could do it with only scouts. I can try if you guys want, because the scouts, they don't really do combat, but they're the best all-rounders since they actually can do everything. Workers, since they never leave the base, will be awful at defending it, because you can't even look at their stats. So I don't think they really have any besides working in there. No, go away, you dumb bees. Defenders. Or guardians, whatever. Yeah, there's a kind of thing I don't like is that the fact that, as you can see, these guys on the other side of the base, it takes my guys a while to get to them. And they're somehow able to damage my guys before my guys are able to get close enough to damage them. Yeah, at first, your defenders will easily be able to take out an enemy one-on-one. But once you start getting later in the game, even with upgrades, you'll need like 2 or 3 to take them out. But the bigger enemies will drop better food. Is that oh, never mind. It's just a CD on my floor. Okay, you. Yeah, because the loaders and the scouts get up me. They do have combat ability, as they are able to do damage, but they're not meant for it. Like, as you saw, the bees easily took out my loaders. See, like, scout just runs past. I'm not sure what it will take to get the scouts into combat, or if they even will activate to combat. That'd be one thing that'd be cool if they add things like the pheromones that could just like tell like all ants to attack this guy, like to attack an enemy. So you get like a really tough enemy, or you're running low on actual soldiers, so it's like, tell all you guys to go attack it, so all your scouts and your loaders and whatever else stops what they're doing and goes to attack the guy. Like, it may be a bit overpowered now, especially since enemies only come in like 2 or 3 at a time, except for that first time where they came in like 5. Although my first game through to where I was testing it out, they only ever came 1 at a time. Which was kind of odd, because it's just like 1 bee, which my normal loaders, they gang up on it with like 2 or 3 of them at a time and easily kill the bee. I also had warriors around, which would also damage the bee. That's just more health, so it's not that good of an upgrade, but it's still an upgrade. Yeah, I want you guys to be bigger and better. Yeah, I do think the scouts, upgrading them is better for the exploring, because stupid clouds. They like after a while, they just come back, so I think if they're faster, they'll make it to the edge sooner and discover, and then they will return. Hopefully they get the honey, because the honey will go away after a while. I'm not sure what the mushrooms do. Oddly enough, enemies will also go away after a while. Or at least after their hive is destroyed. I mean, I wish we could at least, like, have the warriors give attack commands. Because, I mean, we're able to give them attack commands onto enemy bases. But just not enemy units. Which is kind of annoying, because, like, the tougher enemies, they'll come in, kill a handful of my loaders. Oh, look, there's some bees. And even when my guardians come in, there's like 1 or 2 guardians at a time. It'd be like, yeah, 1 guardian at a time. So you will just kill that guardian and then move on to the next. No, not me. Stop him. Scout, get him. See, look at this. Look at this. Yes, good loader. Distract him till my useless defenders come in. Oh, that's a good guy. See, look at the loaders saving the day. You need like a lot of guardians to defend all around your actual hive. Yeah, the warriors, they also kind of defend their hives, but they kind of just do what the scouts do and just patrol randomly around. But they don't really necessarily go out of their way to discover stuff. Or, I'm not sure at least. Really? Really? You're an ant. Your literal only mental capacity allows you to die for the colony. Are you gonna heal if you go back to the... I'm not sure if you will. If you're healing up, then I'm okay with it. No, you're not. You're just running so that way this guy could die. Ah, oh, poor guy. See? See, look, they're getting away. Because of you. You would have, like, died in 2 hits, but whatever. You have one job in life. Your one purpose that you were created for. And you don't do it. So yeah, you do need numbers in this game, because this guy, well, he didn't even try to defend, but if there's guys coming from here, well, I mean, he did kill this guy, so whatever, I'll lay off him. But bees coming from this way, a defender on this side of the nest won't go to stop them because, excuse me, they won't like pretty much. They don't have like line of sight, or they won't be close enough to initiate the attacking. Make more guys. Yeah, so the scouts I'm able to ignore, luckily. So I'm mostly going to be talking about my opinions of this game, which I do like this game, and, well, things I don't really like about this game. Right now, in the second video, I'll be talking more about what happened today in my life, which I do have a bit to talk about. I'm going to pause it for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for your patience. It looks like there's a little, just tiny stone on that big stone. Make loaders. Yeah, it's kind of good to make a lot of loaders now, especially since bees. No, this guy could kill them all if he wanted to. And this guy over here, not that guy. That guy could also be really useful at killing. Him too. Kill them all. Kill them all. Come on. Yeah, I don't understand why these guys are able to hit my guys way before my guys. Yeah, were they able to initiate fighting with my guys before my guys can initiate fighting with them? Or, well, they damaged my guys, as you see right here, before my guys damaged them. I don't know why it took me so many times to say that, but it did. Wait, see this guy's double teaming on him? Once you get to the bigger enemies, then that's going to happen more often, to where once they get pretty close to the base, you'll have like a lot of loaders, warriors, and defenders all just ganging up on him. Make loaders. I'm not sure what the maximum amount of ants you could have, or if there is a maximum, because I have not reached it. Luckily, as for now, these bees giving me a good supply of food. Although we do have plenty of mushrooms, so I'm not too worried. And I do like this round a lot more than the last round, as there's a lot more combat, and it seems at least a lot more food for at least now. But if there's a lot more bees, it makes me wonder if there's going to be a lot more of the enemies that come in later. If there is, that's kind of scary, because, like, there's an enemy in the game. You may have already saw it if you're paying close enough attention to the first few seconds of the game. And they have 300 health, which is a lot. Luckily, you can upgrade your defenders to have like 90-something health and 5 damage, even though they also have 8 damage. But your guys, of course, will gang up on them and be dealing damage left and right. So, I guess I did kind of spoil the enemy that comes third, but there is an enemy that comes second. So how the enemies work, pretty much. They have a hive that they are from, and they attack your base. If you lose your base, then you die. I mean, that kind of makes sense that if you die, you die. And you're not supposed to let them do that. And you have your scouts scout around the edges until they find them, and then you annihilate them. There's also a pause button here. That doesn't really do much. I mean, it allows you to pause it, look around, and see that there's clouds in your way. Zoom in pretty close too. You can't see the grass moving. Can't see ants on the ants. Yeah, I almost said that, like, when I zoomed in, it's like, too bad you can't see, like, little bugs on the ground, and it's like, well, aren't I stupid? Like, I'm currently looking at little bugs on the ground. But, yeah, see, this guy doing some good discovering. And then he comes back. This guy, also probably going to do some good discovering. Yeah. Good job. And because he's discovering a lot. And because once you discover out far enough, you will find the enemy's hive. And then that's when the warriors come in use. Because at first, I didn't know what the warriors were used for. It's like, so they're just weaker versions of the warriors. Or the weaker versions of the guardians, and they cost one less. But then I read them, and it's like, oh, these guys actually patrol around the base while the warriors go out and they'll meet the threats before they get close to the base. That's pretty cool. But then I tapped on the hive, and there's attack button, so I'm like, yeah, let's attack. And all the warriors went for it. It's like, oh, that's what they do. So I'm not buying warriors now, as I want to save them for when the I meet the hive. Come on. The guy's dying there, and you're just running off. What a great service to your hive you're doing. Yeah, see, these guys don't even heal. They just have the same health until they die. They're different sizes. This guy looks a lot smaller than this guy. Come on, man, fight. Damage 4. Okay, then. Oh. Yeah, that guy's smaller than, like, the loaders. Awfully small. I also do like how you can see the guys who are bringing in food. Go there. And the workers will actually be bringing food to the two hives. And they're actually bringing the pieces, as you can see. The correct type of pieces. Either it's brown mushroom, which she's getting from here. Or at least I think so. Oh, wait. Only bring brown mushroom? I know we brought honey and red mushroom. Maybe I was wrong. Come on. Come on. See, look, they're not even bringing brown mushroom. We don't even have brown mushroom. Nobody likes brown mushroom. Somebody likes brown mushroom. Like 6 whole guardians. Yeah, I probably should upgrade my guys. I guess they're down to this. They bring the ones that they are actually carrying down. They just don't bring the ones. They don't actually bring the ones to the place. Unless I'm wrong and I just had an absurd stockpile of brown mushroom. Come on. Really, with this brown mushroom thing? Whatever. Yeah, there are very few actual blueberry things in the actual world. They are stationary, so it looks good. I mean, this one is the exact same place as it was the last game, so it does look like things that start from a certain way. actually do something at least, because I'm not sure if these small rocks are randomly generated or not. I would have to make two and observe them. This game also has one save slot, which is always a downside for me, because I like having multiple worlds, because I can't really have my personal save file and a save file to where I could play the game on for YouTube. But yeah, so we have reached the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to be stopping it here. Thanks for all you guys watching my Let's Play of Ant Colony Simulator. That's not actually how the crabs look, by the way. That's just a costume.